goals that have to be successful in your company?
Correct.
Great. So that is, for now, is a wish. Now, what is the time frame within which you want to get that done?
By the end of the month.
By the end of the month, that becomes a goal. That becomes a goal. So if you say you want to buy a house, that is a good wish. Now, if you say you want to buy a house by the end of the month, that becomes a goal. If you say you want to travel overseas, that becomes a good wish. If you say you want to travel overseas by the end of the year, that becomes a goal. If you say you want to buy toys for your grandkids, that becomes a good wish. If you say you want to buy 5 toys for the Christmas by November 25th, that becomes a good goal. So the goal has a time frame attached to it. And then the wish doesn't have any time frame. And so to achieve your goals, it has to have, you need to develop some values, you need to develop belief system, which we're going to be seeing some values and belief systems that we can begin to put together to achieve our goals. So right now in the manual you have with you, you could just write down some, as I'm going to share some values and some of my values, then you could write down your own values. And again, one thing we should note is that goals are divided into 2 parts. We have the short-term goals and the long-term goals. Lovely. Short-term and long-term. So, example of a short-term goal is you want to build your team to get the best value from the team and from the team members within a month. That is short-term or long-term.
Be short, but
Short.
should be long as well.
Thank you. Now, in this case, let's assume it is short. Why do you want to do that?
So they can see success.
So they can see success, right? So now, the overall goal is for them to see success maybe by the end of 2025 as an institution, as a company, to see and experience success. And what do you have to do every month for them to achieve that success? You have to develop them. That becomes a short term. Now, the long term could be to achieve the company goal, like vision and mission, for that particular year, which will be 2025. So the long-term goal is to achieve the company mission and vision by the end of 2025, and the short-term goal is to help each group member to be the best version of themselves, so that they can serve better. Now, we'll look at that clearly. Short-term versus long-term goals. Examples of beliefs that I have. And so let's go back to the goal I have. So to do 100 speaking gigs and to be able to contribute to the building of an orphanage I am working on in Africa. So I want to do 100 speaking engagements because I want to build an orphanage in Africa for those children. Now, look at my beliefs. Belief number 1. Can somebody read it?
Impact over income.
Great. So I believe that if you want income, don't focus on income. Focus on impact. Because if you can impact more lives and touch more people, the income will come as a result of the impact you are creating in the lives of people. So that is one of my beliefs. So if you just believe that you want income, you might never have the income if you miss the impact. That is a belief that can help to achieve that goal. Can somebody read the second one?
Every stage is an opportunity.
Every stage is an opportunity. How many times have you felt very skeptical doing business with somebody because you never met the person physically, or you never experienced the person doing that thing that he's telling you that he can do? Have you ever felt like that? Pretty good. Pretty good. It means that all you need is a stage, not an opportunity. Because once you have the stage, you can create the opportunities from the stage. And if you're a speaker like myself, you don't have to bother where to get speaking gigs. You just have to be good in what you do, and the speaking gigs will come naturally. And so every connection, every contact becomes a stage for you, because every stage is an opportunity. Somebody help with the third?
Success is inevitable with consistency.
Here we go. Don't give up. Keep on going. And you eventually become successful. And I always love the story of Thomas Edison. How many of you know the story of Thomas Edison? Almost everybody, how he discovered the incandescent electric bulb. He tried how many times?
1,000.
Over 1,000 times. And he eventually succeeded. It was because he was very consistent. Can somebody read the fourth one, please?
People want to support a mission with clear purpose.
Is that true? That is a belief. A mission with a clear purpose, that's the kind of mission people want to support. And so that is a belief. So, and the last one?
Your voice can change lives.
Your voice can change lives. That's a belief. Just like your goal can change lives. Now, how many of us believe that this church we are sitting in right now was a goal some people so many years ago? Put up your hands if you believe that. Beautiful. Come to think about this. What could have happened if Christ Community Church was not built? What could have happened? Thanks to that goal being achieved, we're here. What could have happened if it was not?
Well, I have an example.
Yep.
So a group of us from another church in Chanhassen, we are very small, and there was a pastor who came to help us, and he was tied to this church. He had connections to this church,
Yeah.
and so he brought us over here to worship at this church. Otherwise, we would have all went in our separate ways.
You see, that is the impact of this goal being achieved. That's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing, Maya. So you see what is happening? Just as the church is important to the family and to you and I, so is your goal important to somebody somewhere out there. Maybe the person is not currently in the United States, or maybe the person is not even born yet. Maybe the person is coming in the next generation, after our own generation. But that goal is one of the spark or the trigger that will make them to become good, to become successful in what they have to do, or in what the Lord is laying upon their hearts to do. And so, if the people who had this goal to build this church, if they did not fail, if they did it, so let's do it. Because this is our own time to do it. If not, we are frustrating the next generation. So we need to have these beliefs. So let's look at some values. Examples of values that can help you to achieve your goals. Value number 1.
Commitment to service.
Commitment to service. Service first before any other thing. And I learned this from Jesus. Jesus was a perfect example of a servant. You notice that? He was serving the people that they were with him. Though he was the King of Kings, but yet he was serving the people that were working with him. In other words, an average person could expect Jesus to be served by the disciples, but rather he was serving the disciples. And so that could be a beautiful value that you can begin to. So the question you're asking yourself, how am I serving my team right now? How am I serving my family? How am I serving my grandkids? How am I serving my spouse? How am I serving my church? How are we doing that? Or the church is being served to you, or other people are serving you. It has to be 2 ways. How are you serving your community? Because you are placed in that community for a purpose, for a reason. Second goal, second value.
Excellence.
Excellence. Why should we be excellent in what we do? Because excellence, yes sir?
No, I agree.
Okay, excellence, right? Excellence seems like a universal language.
Well, you try to get to that level. Doesn't always work, but you still try.
Excellence is what you do every day.
I love that. What do you do every day? You become very good at it. For instance, growing up, I've never used to sing it. You write a song and give me, I'll read the song. I won't be able to sing it. And so I don't see myself much as singing. And I actually opted to do audition in singing in church. So last Thursday, Williams, the worship leader, asked me to come. So I came to church and they put all the stuff on my ears And I went, they asked me to sing. And it was horrible. It was horrible. So after 2 songs, Williams asked me to go and sit down. And then I sat down. He said, I can go home now. I went home. And so he sent me a text. Hello, Oliver. Anytime you are ready to call me, please call me and let's talk. So fortunately, I came to church today. And I met William somewhere in the corridors. And William told me that, Oliver, sorry. You need a lot of work. And we don't have the time to work with you on your singing. I'm like, I understand, William. Thank you so much. I know we don't have the time. This is the end time. And we have all the time to focus on what we are already good at it. And that's excellence. Why am I a bad singer? Because I've not been singing every day. I don't see myself as a good singer. But I'm speaking every day. So why should I not focus on speaking? What I'm doing already, what I'm good at it, what I'm becoming excellent at it. Why should I go again to singing? Because there are people who are focusing only on singing. And so to me, that's excellence. And excellence is a universal language. When you're excellent, whether you're a Christian or not, people from different belief systems, they'll come to your service. Because what they're seeing there is excellence. And so it is important for us Christians to be excellent in what we do. I've never seen somebody from a different religious belief, like maybe Muslim, who comes to the hospital and the doctor is a Christian. And he's like, you're not going to handle my case because you're a Christian. Except you've seen that, put up your hand if you've seen that. I've never seen that. Because excellence is a universal language that everybody understands and everybody hears and everybody speaks. So it is a value that you could believe, you could practice it, even as you achieve your goals. Next value.
Christ-likeness.
Christ-likeness. I love this. So the question is, what is the significance of achieving your goal to the kingdom of God? Okay, you want to go to Mass. Okay, great. What is the significance of that to the kingdom? How would going to Mass lead people to Christ? You want to buy a house? Great, fantastic. How would buying a house contribute to the kingdom? You want to buy toys to grandkids? Fantastic. How is buying toys to your grandkids contribute to the kingdom? You want to go for missions fields in Africa, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan? Great. How is doing that contributing to the kingdom? So I believe strongly that too, whatever goals we have, the goal should be Christ-like. And I think that's the ultimate reason why Christians, we're into goal setting and we want to achieve big goals, so that Christ will be reflected in those actions. Not for ourselves, not for our families, but for the glory of the kingdom. Then, integrity. We live in a culture where no matter how you're good, no matter what you do, the moment people realize that you tell lies, that you're not honest, what happens?
All credibility is gone.
Credibility is gone. Reputation is gone. Trust is finished. And have you noticed that the energy it would take to build back the trust that has been breached is so much? Even to build a trust. Have you noticed that, like me? And so, their integrity is everything. I remember one of my trainers in the public speaking school, the National Speakers Association Academy for Minnesota, he said, Oliver, in as much as you're building your career, all of that, you have to work so hard on maintaining your integrity. Because you can work so hard in being the best, but the least character deformity can cause all of that. And nobody will ever trust you. You can be excellent, you can be really, really good in what you're doing, but if you have a problem with integrity, people wouldn't trust you. Nobody will even recommend you. That's the bad part of it. You will only be yourself. You become like an island. So, values, integrity. Some people can just come and work with you or recommend you because they know that you say what you do and you do what you say. And just because of that, people love to recommend you to work with you, to do stuff with you. So integrity here, I love it. And the last one, examples?
Faith and vision.
Faith and vision. Yeah, this is, I also love this. Faith, we have to believe that we can do it. We have to believe we can do it. Have you ever had a goal, somebody like, this is what I want to do, and you're like, that's too big and scary. Put up your hand. Yeah. And you're like, man, am I gonna do that? Have somebody ever said that you share your goal with somebody and you're like, that's crazy?
All the time.
All the time. Yeah. And at times, all you need is this. For instance, give me an example of anybody in the Bible who achieved a big, bold, audacious goal.
Moses.
Moses? Great. I love that. Any other person?
Well, Noah.
Noah. Okay.
And that would be a hard one,
Noah. Like, you know what God asked Noah to do, right? To build an ark. God was angry with the world, and so he decided to destroy it. But there were some righteous people. And so he gave the battle to Noah. And I'm sure when Noah was like, hey man, I want to build the ark. I'm like, that is impossible. That is insane. You can't do that. It took Noah years. How many years?
3? Is that right?
It's more like 7.
Was it? Okay.
70 years? Over 70 years.
yeah.
70 years.
He was pretty old.
Yes, he was pretty old. It took Noah over 7 years to build the ark. And you know what it means to be working on something and people are not even seeing the change, right? People are passing every day mocking at you. Look at this man. Look at this stupid man. Look at this man. Look at this man. And he was there doing it. People mocked at him. The family was getting every day and every morning they'll go to eat and do it. And over 7 years, he was still building the ark. And the Bible says that's the book of Genesis chapter 6. You read from 12 to 22, 13 to 22, you will see the story there. And you see, and the Bible says that the Lord advised Noah or recommended to put everything male, female, male, female, male, female. And guess what? He did exactly that. Clear instructions. Here's the good news. When it started raining, what happened? The people who were laughing at Noah, they thought it was just going to be like it used to be. But the rain kept on falling, increasing every single day. Eventually, what happened? It went up. Flood came, and all houses were drowning into the seas. By then, Noah and the family were already in the ark. So it became very serious, and some people thought that, this is serious. They started doing what? They climbed trees. Some climbed the tallest trees in the city, hoping that the water will come down. Nothing happened. It kept on climbing. At the end of the day, it finally climbed, and everybody got drowned. But Noah and the family were saved. And it was down to that obedience of Noah to building the ark that you and I, we are alive today. Because a whole race was wiped out and a new one came into existence. Let's think for a moment. What could have happened if Noah failed?
Well, God promised that there wouldn't be a second one like that. But just to throw something out, the Ark Encounter down in Kentucky, if you see that, it's made to the same size and everything that comes out of the Bible. And it is fantastic to go there and tour it. They tell you how they fed the animals, how they got extra stuff.
Exactly.
But it was just, everything was from God.
Everything
That's
was
what
from God.
Yeah, that's what Noah just followed.
Exactly. And so, did you see an perfect example of faith and vision? He had a vision. He believed that this is from God. Here's the card. That vision and that goal that you have right now, that goal, I believe is from God. I believe it's from God. If not, why are you the only one who is thinking about that? Why are you making a lot of effort to get it done? Maybe God is telling you that, my daughter, do it, my son, do it. I want you to do this. This is going to save lives. There's a young man somewhere in New York right now, in California, in Georgia, in Minnesota. A young woman somewhere in Egypt. in South Africa, in London, UK, in Singapore, who will only succeed in life if you achieve that goal, if you build that act that God is asking you to build. And the difference between you not doing it is the difference between life and death to that person that will benefit from it. I want to think about that for a moment.